So, microphones. We're going to have a chat, and I've got about 6 microphones here from Sony, and I want to test all these out and seeing what the difference is between all these microphones. And this is one I own, ECM-B1M. Incredible microphone. We'll be talking a little bit more about this. You've probably seen a couple of videos of this on my channel, but just a disclaimer, Sony did send me these. They didn't tell me to make this video. This is for a completely different project on a whole different thing. So we won't even talk about that one. But, you know, I'm not a Sony fanboy. I just happen to have a lot of Sony cameras, a lot of Sony stuff, and Sony's awesome and Canon sucks. But on a serious note, we're going to be talking about the audio quality of these things. We obviously have to talk about what we have. ECM-B1M, ECM-B10, ECM-G1. I've got I think it's called the ECM W2BT, which is your Bluetooth Lavalier mic system, and the XLR K3M, which comes with a microphone. Didn't know it came with a microphone, but yeah, we're going to be talking about all these microphones, the differences between them, who exactly they're for, and if, I guess, they're worth the money. Because if you're anything like me and you watch Peter McKinnon and Matty Hopoya back in the early days, the Rode VideoMic Pro Plus is an absolute game changer. It is the OG of when it comes to vlogging microphones, and this thing is great. You plug it in, turns on, fantastic. Whereas the Rode VideoMic Pro, you plug it in, you actually physically had to turn it on. I had that one before this, and I forgot to turn it on so many times, and you have zero audio. Ever since Sony announced these, and you literally just plug these in, they're powered through this, gives a digital signal. You don't have to worry about charging them. I don't want to have to say it, but game changer. Let's get into the video. So first of all, we're going to be talking about the ECM-G1. This one is the micro small version, which a lot of Sony ZV shooters would probably use. And I am probably, you can see that, I'm scratching it. I am an arm's length away from the camera, and we're going to be going through some of the specs with this audio device. So the ECM-G1 is an ultra-compact shotgun mic system for Sony cameras, and it features a 3.5mm audio out to connect to cameras that don't have the multi-interface hot shoe. It weighs a total of 34 grams and is more suited towards vloggers or creators that need a smaller, compact audio system. It is a very simple microphone with no added features, and it comes at the cheapest price of the bunch of only $129 US. And I'm sitting in the same position with this one. This is the ECM-B10. We'll go through some of the specs of this while you're obviously listening to the audio quality. The ECM-B10 is a professional shotgun microphone that offers high quality audio through the multi-interface hot shoe. It's a microphone that has the ability to pick up 3 different audio patterns such as supercardioid, unidirectional, and omnidirectional pickup patterns. It has 4 microphone capsules at the top and uses a beam forming technology to convert the audio to a digital signal. It has many other features including auto audio leveling, noise features like noise cut and low cut, digital to analog switch for a wide range of Sony cameras, internal noise suppression, and it weighs a total of 72 grams. And it comes in a total price of $249 US. Now this one is the bigger, more expensive brother of the ECM-B10. This is the ECM-B1M. It's got 8 capsules on the top. It's more expensive, so hopefully better audio quality. So we'll go through some of the specs while you're listening to the audio quality of this one. The ECM-B1M is very similar to the ECM-B10, but it features 8 microphone capsules at the top to give a higher quality audio in the processing. It has the same features as the smaller version, but weighs slightly more at 79 grams and comes in at a price of $348 US. Now this is the XLR K3M, and it is a very slightly different position to the other microphones because it's mounted on top, but it's a little bit more over the top of the lens, a little bit closer to my speech bubble area. But we'll go through some of the specs first so you can hear the audio quality of the XLR K3M. The XLR K3M is a dual channel digital XLR audio adapter that connects directly to the Sony multi-interface hot shoe. It has large benefits due to having 2 XLR inputs and a separate 3.5 audio input. It has audio level adjustments on the left-hand side. It can also supply phantom power to microphones that require added power. The ECM-X1M is the shotgun microphone that is included with this combo, and it fits perfectly into the shock mount. It is also cable free like the rest, and it is the heaviest system, weighing in at 187 grams, and it comes at the highest price at $598 US. Now this one is the last one, but it is the most different one, and it's a lavalier system. This is the W2BT, so it's the Bluetooth version and the lavalier wireless system, so I can pretty much be any distance away from the camera and you'll still obviously hear me, but we'll go through some of the specs of this thing while you're hearing the audio quality coming from this microphone. The ECM W2BT is a wireless microphone that's compatible with the multi-interface hot shoe for low noise and high quality sound. It's a dual receiver and transmitter mic that can last up to 9 hours with onboard battery and camera supplied power. It is a 3.5mm microphone jack for cameras that don't have the new multi-interface shoe connection, which can technically be used with any audio recorder system. It has a couple of different features to adjust the audio input with 0 decibels, -10 decibels, and -20 decibels. The total price is $198 US for the wireless system and $29 for the ECM-L1 lav mic system. So the ECM-G1 is a very, very small microphone, and it's probably more suited towards, ZV shooters, the ZV-E1, ZV-1F, maybe even ZV-E10. You can still have it on these Sony Alpha cameras as well. But the audio it doesn't seem as full as the other microphones. This one is a little bit empty. It doesn't have the audio quality as the ECM-B1M and ECM-B1M. While the ECM-B1M is what you're listening to right now, is actually a really good microphone, and I love this system where you can literally just plug and play. You don't even have to worry about the audio. You can literally leave it in auto and it will auto level and do a really, really good job of it. But the best advice I can actually give you is trying to get the microphone as close to your speech bubble as possible. That's going to get the best quality audio as you possibly can. And that's why you see I've actually got the microphone in my main talking headpieces literally like a couple of inches away from my mouth, so it is crisp and clean. But realistically, when it comes to vlogging, you can't put your camera this close and try and get the best quality audio. It's going to be at arm's length. So you're going to need a microphone system that's going to have the best audio quality. And this is the ECM-B1M. This is the best quality Sony microphone you can get, attaches into the hot shoe. It's pretty much the exact same as the ECM-B1M, but just slightly better audio quality. So now when it comes to the XLR K3M, that's probably the best one when it comes to professionals because it goes directly into your hot shoe, but you can actually have 2 professional XLR inputs on this one. And it also has that extra 3.5mm audio jack in case you actually want to lav someone up. Now, when it comes to those professional inputs, you can have one that's directly on top of the shock mic, but you can also attach one that's obviously right here, or you can boom one that's directly over. And this will actually suit professionals a lot more. You can see here that we have that on top of the camera. Then we have this microphone right here. And oh, yep, this is the 50 f1.4. If you want to check that video out, the link will be in the description below. It only just dropped. But back to the main topic, this XLR input is probably going to suit most of your brand new Sony Alpha cameras, especially if you do a lot of interviews, if you do a lot of high-end professional work that require better audio quality management. So you can actually attach your headphones directly into that and monitor on the side on the left there. You don't have to attach it directly into your camera and monitor it through that way. It really just depends on your workflow and what kind of work you actually do. Now, when it comes to creating content outside as like a vlogger or content creator, you're probably not going to be choosing the XLR, K3M because it's way bigger. But this is probably more suited, like I said before, for interviews and just those situations where you're going to be putting professional XLR inputs, maybe in documentaries, those kind of things as well. These ones are probably the ones that you're going to be choosing. Just regular shotgun mics that go directly onto your camera, have a smaller footprint, and pump out some decent audio quality as well. So we have noise cancelling on. This is the ECM-B1M. And you can hear the cafe noise in the background. This is from Epidemic Sound. Link will be in the description below if you do want to check them out. I use them all the time. But this is what the audio quality sounds like. Just imagine that you're sitting in a cafe and you want to do a little bit of vlogging. This is what the audio is going to sound like with noise cancelling, and I'm going to turn the noise cancelling off so you guys can actually hear the difference. So noise cancelling is off now with the ECM-B1M. Now, like I said, the ECM-B1M and B10 both have noise cancelling inside the microphone. This just gives you another option that you can actually utilize in the microphone, or you can do it in your post-processing with, what is it, Adobe Audition or Avid if you use Avid. Really depends on what software you use, but you can do that noise reduction in post-production. But is this, good enough audio for you guys for your situation? Let's throw in the lav mic now. So now this is the lav mic system. This one could be quite good because it is actually quite close to your speech bubble, because obviously the microphone is as close as possible, whereas a shotgun mic, if you are putting it directly on top of the camera, it's not going to be as close unless, you get super close. Can you actually hear me over the restaurant, cafe sort of sounds, people talking? These are the kind of situations where you might actually utilize the lav mics, but obviously utilizing these lav mics in professional interviews and situations where you're going to be talking quite far away from the camera. If you've got a camera operator, they're on a gimbal, and you want to be presenting to the camera, lav mics could be your best option as opposed to shotgun microphones. Let's switch it over to the ECM-G1. So the ECM-G1 is the smallest and the cheapest of the whole bunch, and the audio quality probably isn't going to be as good as the ECM-B1M and B10 because these are very expensive, but they're meant to be expensive because they have better technology. This one's smaller. It's meant to be just for vloggers, for people who have the ZV cameras, and for people who don't really care about audio quality as much, but really worry about the story and what they're trying to communicate to their audience. This one, you can definitely tell, isn't rejecting the sounds as well as the other microphones do. So it really just depends on the situation, your budget, and what you're using it for, and what you're trying to get out of the video. Now this is in-camera microphone, and I know this one is going to be the worst, and I'm actually trying to speak up a little bit more just so I can reject some of those sounds, but I absolutely recommend to never use in-camera microphones. I mean, if anything, grab your iPhone and start recording with your iPhone instead, because the audio quality is actually going to be much better than what is inside your camera. And hey, hell, this looks crap, but if you are vlogging, you are in a pinch, don't have any microphones, use your iPhone, use your smartphone, go to voice recorder and record your voice. Just never use in-camera microphones. It never ends well for anyone, and people will literally click off your video. So a bit of a recap on the microphones. Now the ECM-B1M is probably your best microphone here, besides the XLR K3M. That's obviously a really good microphone, but more on the professional side. If you need those professional adjustments, if you need XLR inputs, that's the one that you're going to be choosing. Otherwise, the ECM-B1M and B10 are much of a muchness. The ECM-B1M is just very slightly better. Obviously, that price is more. So if you do want just value, ECM-B10 is probably your best bet here. The ECM-G1 is very small. It's just for people, like I said, who just want, audio that's better than what's inside the camera. So this one will get you out of a pinch, and obviously the smaller footprint is suited towards, the ZV cameras and all those kind of things. When it comes to the lav mics, like I said, use those for interviews. If you are going to be, further away from the camera, if you don't, want to mount one of these on top of your camera and you've got a gimbal and stuff, that one's probably going to be your best option. Or if you're trying to interview someone, that's probably going to be your best option. But yeah, that is it from the microphones. And if you liked this video, give it a thumbs up. That'd be absolutely amazing. Subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't already. And I'll put the link in the description below for all these microphones so you can check them out for yourselves. But other than that, I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching. Let's get it.